Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna try to, keep it light in this video. I'm definitely giving you tips. I'm trying to rework how I film my videos, or like what kind of content I want to put out there. And just like plain old makeup videos, makeup tutorials, whatever, it's just not my thing. So excuse me, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to give advice as well as do my makeup so that you can see how I do my makeup, and if you want, you can copy that and have at it. But it's also a great way to entertain you while teaching you something very, very necessary. So I did not bring my cup of water in here. I keep forgetting about that. Oh well, I guess. I'm taking my glasses off. Pushing this back. So I have my mirror here that I just cannot seem to keep clean. But anywho, so this video, I'm definitely going to be talking about student loans, because that is a very, very, very big and very, very real thing that, a lot of us have. So, and this by no means is anything like political or anything. It's literally just advice on how to take care of your student loan debt. And these are things that I have either tried or came across online and tried, and all of that jazz. So let me do my brows first, because I really be having to concentrate on these bad boys. By the way, it is 8 o'clock in the morning. It is real time, 8:15. I am definitely still on my 6 to 2 schedule, just because I feel like it'll help me be more productive in the future, especially since at my new job that I'm going to, which, it's a contract job, so either way, it helps me be more productive in the mornings instead of sleeping in that time. So today, excuse me, I want to talk about ways to handle your student loans. So I understand that we are in a very, very, very political debate about student loans and student loan forgiveness and making college free and everything. And whilst that is happening, there are many, many, many Americans that are in student loan debt. So in the event that we don't get student loan forgiveness, or college won't be free or whatever, these are some tips and tricks that you can use to handle your student loan debt and make it better, make a better living for yourself credit wise. So I've got my little notepad here. Y'all can't see what I wrote on it, so there you go. I wrote some stuff. So I have six pretty decent points when it comes to student loans, and a lot of these things I have either tried, or I've seen online and tried, or I've just seen it online and said, that's a pretty good idea, and kind of did the math for it and works, and would like to see if it would work or not. So the first tip that I have actually starts, while you're still in college. This is a tip that I wish that I would have gotten. This is also a tip that I wish my own college, even, out of all of the other college courses that we have taken, I wish that, this managed to make it into one of those courses, whatever those courses may be. But it's to start paying off your student loans while you're still in college. And if you do that, then by the time you get out of college, think of the sized dent you would have made in your student loan debt. Even if I didn't learn it in college, because this just kind of came to my mind one day when I was talking about student loans. But even though I didn't learn that in college, I wish that even if it was just me thinking about it, I would have thought about it sooner. Ways to even start paying off your student loans while you're in college. A lot of college students work for the school that they're going to, whether that be a desk agent in their dorms, if you live in a dorm, graduate assistants, as well as undergrads. They are like residential assistants. They are usually the RAs and GAs for residential assistant and graduate assistant. You can work in the library, or at least at my school you could. Find a job that the school has and apply for it, and you can most likely work there. And even if you don't work for the school, and I say the school first because the school will definitely work with obviously your class hours, so that you don't have to miss a class or anything. You can work pretty much anywhere around, work in fast food. I know people always shun upon working like at McDonald's. Trust me, I've had my fair share of moments where people are like, why don't you just work at McDonald's? And I'm like, ew, I'm not working at no freaking McDonald's. But looking back, that's money. That's money that I missed out on because I thought I was too good to work at McDonald's. And for those who still think that they're too good to work at McDonald's, you don't have to work at McDonald's. There are other places you can work. I'm just giving you examples of places that for sure are willing to work with your school schedule. So McDonald's is one of those places. And I think they also have like a college program where if you're a student, they like help pay your tuition. And so you can either go there or you can work pretty much anywhere. But every paycheck, pay something towards your student loans, so that especially if you're living on campus and you don't actually need the extra money, but you just like you don't need it for rent and utilities and stuff like that because you live on campus and that stuff is definitely already taken out of your tuition, then get a job, pay off some of your student loans. It'll also help your credit, and it'll teach you more about credit management and how to prevent your credit from going to shit, basically. Like during college, you are automatically deferred from paying your student loans, but that doesn't mean that you can't make a payment on your student loans. And a lot of people have it very imprinted onto them that once you have started paying your student loans, you're not allowed to stop until the shit's paid off, which is a complete fucking lie. Which is a complete lie. You can always defer your student loans, even well into adulthood. You can defer them as long as, you have a good reason. All you have to do is be willing to communicate with the company that your student loans are from or through. So my student loans are from Navient. I know a lot of people who have student loans through Sallie Mae. One of my old coworkers and close friends, she told me that like whatever company her student loans are from, I can't remember the name, but it was a name that I had never heard before because I most heard Navient and Sallie Mae. So as long as you're willing to talk to the company, they will definitely help you as far as paying your student loans back. You can set up a payment plan. A lot of them do income-based payment plans for paying your student loans back. That doesn't mean that you can't start paying off your student loans. It just means that they're gonna not make you pay them right then and there, and they're gonna wait until you graduate and have been out of school for 6 months, which gives you time to apparently find a full-time job and a job that you'll never leave until pretty much you pay those student loans off, they wait for that moment and then they slap all of that interest on you. But a great way to avoid that, because interest it'll constantly keep increasing and it will keep adding on. So once you make a payment, after you've, say that you've paid the amount of the interest for that payment, whatever's left or whatever money you have left will go to the loan. So you're paying more in interest than you are actually paying the loan. Whereas the earlier you start, and it'll just keep going. So every time you make it, so every month you have to pay either that same amount in interest or more, because interest rarely decreases. So the longer you have the loan standing, the more the interest will get. Therefore, you want to start paying it off as soon as possible while your interest rates are low, so that they don't jump out the ass all the way to, the moon, and now you're stuck paying mostly interest, and you would have paid more than what you would have ever paid if you just paid your tuition out of pocket. So, and another way to start paying off your student loans while you're in school, a lot of us also receive refund checks. So your refund check, essentially, that is the money that was taken from a loan, and you paid your tuition, whatever's left on the refund check or whatever you get on the refund check, that's the money that is not going towards anything. So that's the money that was taken from a loan that you didn't use towards your tuition. That means that your tuition for that semester has been covered in full, and this is the extra money that you have, and you can do whatever you want with it. $6 a week. This is one thing that I had seen. I can't even remember where I seen. I think it was on Facebook. Like, you know how Facebook listens to your conversations and stuff. So I stumbled across this article that said, if you pay $6 a week, and I thought about it, if you pay $6 a week, then over time that adds up. $6 a week, that's $24 a month. That is essentially your minimal payment for one loan. So if you pay $6 a week, you can end up paying off, one loan in a vastly shorter amount of time, should you not miss a week. Because $6 a week, 52 weeks are in a year, that is 312 weeks. Yeah, that's 312 weeks. Not weeks, that's $312. So that's $312 that you could pay off of one loan. I typically don't like to go that way, because that means it just took you a whole year to pay $300. But this is also why I don't do the minimal plan. I do what I feel works best for me, because like I said, I'm pressed to not have this over my head for, a whole decade plus. So, but when you're starting out, even you can start that while you're in college, because $6 is nothing. Or you can pay your minimal payment or whatever whenever you have it, and then go to pay the $6 a week any other time, just so you're not missing time to pay that off. The third thing is to specify for each loan. This is what I do. So what I did was I downloaded the Navient app. That app lets me know, how much each loan is, the minimal due for each loan. And like I said, I was in delinquent, and I'm still in delinquent for 3 out of 5 loans. I've caught up 5 loans in 2 months. But I chose to specify for each loan because when I made my very first payment, the first thing I did was I looked at the interest for all of the loans, because I wanted to know if they were all the same. No, they're all different. So, I realized that since all of the interest for all of my loans are different, then I would have a much harder time paying off some of those loans. So I chose to make a payment on the 2 loans. I picked 2 loans that were my 2 least amount loans. I said I can pay those off quicker and get those two from over my head, and then if I focus on those 2 loans, or at least 2 loans at a time as I make a payment, then I can get rid of all of the other loans or pay down all of the other loans, and then give myself some time to focus on the bigger loans and work those down whilst paying the minimal balance on the other lower loans, just to keep them from going into delinquent or late status. On the day that I got paid, by the way, on payday, that was literally the first thing I did at 6 o'clock in the freaking morning. Paid student loans. As sucky as that may sound to have to do, it ended up saving me in the long run, because it showed Navient that I had started paying off my loans. I stopped receiving like half the phone calls I was receiving, stopped receiving half the emails I was receiving, and I'm also establishing that trust with the company again. But not only that, I paid more than what was due at the time, and I paid on my principal balance as well as my interest. So a lot of the money that I was paying was going to interest, not the actual principal balance. So the principal balance is down $1,000. That means that I paid well over $1,000 just to get that down to where it is now. And I just kept it consistent. You know, I paid $200 every 2 weeks. So, and that was only for 2 months. So 4 months I paid $800. And out of that, I also paid, like, 1 week I paid an extra $100. 1 week and then like a few days later I paid $30. So like, I waited until Navient took the money out of my bank account to see how much money I had left. I was fortunate enough to get paid enough to where I had money left, and like paid the important bills first, you know, my car note and my car insurance, but those are on 2 separate checks, so didn't really matter. That paid one thing first and then paid the student loans. And then, you know, after they took money out of my account, I went back and I checked, and I was like, can I pay something on another loan? And if I could, then I did. And if I couldn't, then I didn't. You know, I paid what I could. Sometimes I made payments of like $5. Sometimes I made payments of $30. Sometimes I made payments of, you know, $20. Sometimes I made payments of $180. Then I went up to $200. Just whatever I could put towards my student loans, that's what I did. My 5th tip is to make payments every week, in which I touched on that. You know, I try to make payments every week. I can't always make payments every week. I just submitted a payment a few days ago of $300. And I chose to pay on one of the big loans that time because the interest was causing that balance to get up to the past due to get up to $300. So I paid $300 because it was only like $270. And so that was an extra $30 that was going towards the actual amount due. So I was only like $4 behind. But I wanted to make sure that I got at least $300 because I can handle $4 later should I, you know, decide that I have $4 to spare. And then my 6th thing, which I feel is the most important, is to prioritize your debt over your leisure by 80%. So what I mean by that is, I'm not saying go treat yourself, because, you know, I treat myself every time I feel necessary. My boyfriend tells me all the time, go treat yourself, you deserve it. And whether I feel like it's well deserved or not, I do it anyway, because that is a way to show yourself some love. You know, that's self-love right there. You worked hard, treat yourself. That is your leisure money. That's your leisure money, that's your leisure time. That is your time to spend with yourself and treat yourself to whatever you want. So I'm not saying don't do that. Definitely do that. But I'm saying prioritize your debt over your leisure by 80%. I was going to say 70%, but I like to push myself, so 80%. If you feel like you can't push yourself like that, then, you know, 70%. If you feel like you need your leisure more than I do, I sit in the house a lot. So, me treating myself was quitting that 6 to 2 because I hated it and I hated everybody there except for 2 people. It was affecting me mentally and emotionally. I chose to take care of my mental health first, and I went back to contracts. So, in which I ended up starting the next day after my last day at that shitty job. So that is how I take care of myself. I choose to do what I love, what I got a degree in. But if you prioritize your debt over your leisure, then you start to see a significant decrease in debt and an increase in your mental and emotional state. So that just means that, you know, instead of going to the nail shop every 2 weeks, make it go to the nail shop every 3 weeks. Or buy nail polish and polish your nails at home, because you'll find that it's actually very therapeutic. I know for me, to polish my nails at home a lot. So buy nail polish from Dollar Tree, it's $1, and polish your nails at home, or have a girls' night and, you know, you and the girls polish your nails, or you and the guys polish those nails. I don't know, you and whoever you want polish nails or whatever. You know, that means that you can't have a Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, but it could be every other Tuesday, you know what I mean? So it just means that you are taking care of your responsibilities and not shooting yourself in the foot by taking care of yourself only. It's great to be selfish when you need it the most, when it comes to, you know, building yourself up. It's not great to be selfish to the point where you are only causing yourself detrimental dysfunction. You know, these companies actually want you to be, like, they want you to pay late. They want to be able to call you and stress you out and everything, but they want you to defer that shit, because that means that that's more interest, that's more money that the company is getting out of you at your expense, and you don't want that. So pay that shit off as fast as you can. Think of all of the money. Money is a thing that is made every day. That's the one thing people don't realize. Yes, you are not rich. Unless you are, then good for you. But, you know, we are not rich. We don't have money growing in our backyard. We don't have, you know, endless, we don't have bottomless wallets. Like, there is a pit somewhere in our lives where money is just non-existent. So, I definitely understand, you know, that is money that you could have used for other things. But I think that it's more important for you to take care of your responsibilities first. That way, once it gets out of the way, at this rate, I'd be student loan debt free before I'm 30. If you pay it now, that's more money that you can have for yourself in the future. But I would rather not stress out the rest of my life or the next 20 years or whatever over student loans when I can pay them off, build my credit, be able to buy a house. I can't necessarily say be able to buy a car because I already did that. So, but be able to buy more cars or more luxury cars, because I have a Mazda. Now I love my Mazda, so don't get me wrong. Yeah. But yeah, being able to have all of these things at your expense, you can't have that when you have student loan debt hanging over you. Anywho, my battery's flashing, so I'm going to do the outro whilst I do my mascara. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from it. Let me know if you have any student loans tips and tricks, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. There. All right, now I can go.